Anyways, you're in onboarding to Microsoft 365, made easy, protect users, devices, and data. So what we're gonna do today is take a look at some of the new admin experiences that you guys have seen if you saw Brad Anderson present in his session or in any of the other sessions that were going on. We're gonna take a look at how to roll out some of those experiences. So my name is Brian. I'm the product marketing guy on the Microsoft 365 admin experience. I will not be up here long. Don't freak out. We're actually gonna get Tim up here, Tim is on the product management team. These guys actually build the experience that hopefully is delivering on what we're promising when we talk through here. So I'm gonna hand it over to Tim in just a little bit, but I wanna kind of set where this Microsoft 365 admin principle kind of comes from, what we're trying to deliver, what we want that experience to be like. So Microsoft 365 for the end user is a new way for us to combine Windows, Office, and enterprise mobility and security that's centered around the way that the end user works. We want to kind of break down some of those barriers between those products and really deliver a seamless experience that helps them be creative and collaborative, all in a really secure way. We want to deliver the same kind of experience for the admin. We want to make sure that what we're delivering is really built around the way that admin teams work, right? The teams from IT, thank you, not Intel, tend to be structured around kind of functional areas. There's a security team, there's a user support team. We want to make sure that the experience that we build supports those types of organizational structures, and that whatever any individual does in that admin center, they can make that a custom, really tailored experience that delivers on the way that they work. And once they've done that, we want to make sure that it's efficient as possible for what they do every day. The majority of tasks that you as the admins do tend to be the same kind of thing, or at least something that you need to do more than once. We want to make sure that you have the ability to surface the data, surface the tasks that you most want to access, and maybe hide some of those things that you use less frequently. And we want to make sure that we're doing all of this while we're giving you insight into what's actually happening in your user base. You want to know how are users actually using the services that you're rolling out, and you want to know what to do about it. And that's what's kind of interesting here. Every service produces a lot of data. The trick is knowing what to look at, and then we're going to take it a step further and help you understand what you should do next, what kind of setting you should configure, or what service you should roll out to help those end users be the most productive as they can and still be secure. So this is what we wanted to deliver on originally and what we still want to deliver on. But it didn't always look like that. It often kind of looked more like what's going on the right? And you probably see a lot of things up there that you might recognize. You see portal.office.com, you see Intune, you see the Microsoft Store for Business, you see Power Apps and Remote Desktop. 23 different entry points that you might go to manage the experience that your end users see. Not really the most productive way to approach that for IT, right? What we've built instead is the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. So this is going to be your common entry point as a Microsoft 365 admin. If you're an Office 365 admin, that's also your common entry point. From that entry point, you've got 7 specialist workspaces based on the way that specific IT teams work. So you'll see the security and the compliance center up there, for example. Those are 2 different areas because we know that the security team is generally one team, the compliance team is generally another team. We want to make sure that there's an experience in there that is tailored for the type of work that they're doing. So we keep that at admin.microsoft.com. Remember that URL. You're going to hear us say it a million times. It's because we want you to start going there. If you use portal.office.com, stop doing that. Go to admin.microsoft.com, and that's actually where you've been redirected. That experience was released March 2nd, so it's been out, what does that make it, 7 or so months now, almost 8. And we're seeing 2.3 million monthly users, so quite a few people have already started using this, and that number continues to grow. What we're going to look at today is how to make that experience as strong as possible for your end user. We'll take a look at what we actually do when you first get your subscription set up and what that experience looks like doing basic tasks like adding your domain and adding users. And then we're going to move into a portion where we start to roll out some of those more advanced services to really deliver that most secure, best possible end user experience. So with that, we're going to get into the actual meat of the presentation, the hands-on demo, the interesting stuff. And I'm going to hand it over to Tim. Thanks, Tim.
Thanks, Brian. All right, so now that we're done with all the marketing stuff.
Thanks, buddy.
Okay, so what we're going to cover, this is basically, you could consider this an agenda slide, a post-marketing agenda slide. This is to essentially go over what our, step one is going to be to go over how you can get to Microsoft 365, whether you're already an Office 365 customer, if you're an on-premises customer that's exploring your options. So we'll talk about how you can go and explore those options and how you would go and purchase or trial Microsoft 365. Then we go into the kind of the next 4 phases, which is your initial, we call, number 2 on the slide is what we call your initial setup phase. A lot of people, when they buy one of our online services or anything, you kind of get it and you look at it and you don't know what your first step is. If you take the wrong step with provisioning or you take the wrong step with adding a user before you do certain things with your tenant, then you could end up in a place where you have to back out a bunch of things you did. So what we do is we have an initial setup experience that attempts to guide you through the first few steps to get you started on the right foot. So if you get, the whole idea is to get you going properly. The next step is what we call onboarding. Now, once you get that initial setup done, you get your users added, you could start getting productive right away. You could start using email, you could start using Teams and the different things that you might need to use. However, as time goes, you might want to use an additional service. So if you're a Microsoft 365 customer that's using Exchange Online, a month or 2 down the line, you might have heard or saw in a magazine on a plane, hey, I heard about this Intune thing, so I can manage my devices. Well, you can onboard onto that. It's basically a stairway that it will keep going. It's more like an escalator that kind of keeps going nonstop so that you can onboard throughout your life cycle. Recommendations are all about when you can't discover onboarding scenarios or you haven't discovered onboarding scenarios, we have recommendations to kind of show you the way and help guide you. And then the last thing we're going to cover is some of the, we're going to do it at a high level, but some of the things you would do once you got past the Microsoft 365 onboarding experiences, how you'd get started and your kind of a wayfinding within the specialist workspaces. That's essentially what we're going to cover today. Not essentially, that is what we're going to cover today. So first part, upgrading to Microsoft 365 if you're an Office 365 customer. The first thing you want to do is you'd want to evaluate what your purchase options are. And there's an AKA MS link at the bottom of the screen that you can use to take you to the content to evaluate your options. The other option is you can, if you're an existing Office 365 customer, you can go directly within your tenant to explore that. So I'll show that in a minute. Then you go through your purchase. And again, your purchase comes as an option of, you can just go in and buy if you're a brave soul, or you can go in and try it with a free trial for both the Microsoft 365 Business, which is essentially your small to medium business offering, and your Microsoft Enterprise Class E3 level licensing if you're a larger business. Obviously, you could always go to your account teams if you're an enterprise customer as well. Once you get through that second phase, you would go into the initial setup phase, which would be when you would go through the core setup tasks. And this is the initial setup phase is something we have for Office 365, but we've enhanced it for Microsoft 365 customers to include a few more core tasks, which we'll cover in a second. So I'm going to quickly show you how to discover your Microsoft 365 trial experiences and buy experiences within the admin center. So this should be an admin center that you are familiar with. This is our admin.microsoft.com. What Brian was talking about that was released in March. So this is the one you're used to going into. When you come in here, you can go into the billing node in the left navigation, and from there you can click Purchase Services. Thank God we rebuilt this dashboard. This thing is slow. Okay, so once you click Purchase Services, you'd be able to see what you've purchased already. And so far, we've got this tenant is a trial tenant that's running Office 365 E3. If I was to scroll down, there's other purchase options. For instance, Microsoft 365 Business. This is the one that I was talking about that's for small to medium businesses. And you see the option I have here. I could start a free trial. Even though I'm in trial, I could still start a free trial for Microsoft 365 Business. Or if I'm at the Ignite conference and I'm one of those people that is so stoked about everything I've seen over the past few days, you could just go ahead and buy it if you want to. The other thing you can, the other offerings are down a little bit lower on the screen. I'm not going to find it. Anyway, thank God we're coming out with the search experience too in this product. I'll show you that in a minute. But anyway, you can try and buy your Microsoft 365 Business and Microsoft E3 license types directly from the product that you have today. So it's not one of those things that you have to wait for the new admin center to come out to go and try it. You can do it from the admin center that is available to you right now if you're an existing Office 365 customer. One of the other things, real quick before we get into the next step, one of the other things I wanted to call out is that, and because we're going to cover some of the improvements that are happening in commerce, when you look at the offerings, right now, one of the challenges we have in this current user experience is to understand what is available within all of these tenants. We essentially make it a quick glance capability that you can use for the different icons. So you can go and say, okay, I know that there's Outlook and Word, and I know that there's Yammer, and I know there's Teams, and all these different things available to me because I can see the icons for it. The challenge we have with this is, does everybody know what the icons are? From this list, can you really deduce what you get? One of the things I want you to take note of is when I show the experience that Commerce is coming out with relatively shortly, how we've improved that experience so you really understand what you're getting with the subscription rather than seeing, the Teams icon, which I thought was purple bowling pins when I first saw it. Now, you can actually get a description of what those services are. So if you're a new Microsoft 365 customer, in this case, you have a whole bunch of different options for discovering what your purchase options are. Again, you could go to that AKAMS link to determine which subscription is right for you. You can come to Ignite and learn about your subscriptions. You could talk to your account teams if you're a larger customer and learn about your subscriptions. But however you do your awareness phase, you go and discover which subscription is right for you. You can then purchase your subscription again, either through your account teams or get a trial going through your account teams or directly on the Microsoft website. And then you can start your initial setup. For an enterprise customer, the initial setup could be done. You could still do it yourself if you want to. Nobody's forcing you into a fast track. You could use partner teams to do it as well. But we also have a Microsoft fast track option for you to go through this step as well. How many people have used fast track in here? Okay, so familiar with about 20%, yeah. So the new purchase service experience that Commerce is coming out with, one of the things you'll notice is that it's going to look and feel a lot like the rest of the admin center. If you've seen the new admin center in some of the other sessions, you'll know what it has looked like, and we'll show it again later. But you'll see the purchase services looks a lot cleaner, and it's a lot easier to navigate. It's a lot more performant, especially when it's in a slideshow. I can just hit next and it comes right up, unlike when I was in the live demo. When you go to purchase services, it'll show you similar SKUs, so you can actually go and instead of just having an icon to identify which services are coming with this sucker, you can actually get checkboxes in a little bit more detail to understand what license types come with it and all that, so you can get a bunch more detail in line. And then once you're done with the purchase experience, it takes you directly to a link to manage your subscription, which will take you to the admin.microsoft.com to manage your subscription. Subscription management is something else that's also been improved. So now you can, when you're as an admin, you can log into the admin center, and even if you're a volume license customer, which I know a lot of our enterprise customers obviously have some volume licenses in their tenant, you could do some management of your volume licenses through there. You could provision your licenses directly. So if I show this screen, you can actually do license provisioning directly within the volume licensing pivots in the new Commerce admin experience. So all this coherence and all this clarity and all this performance and all these benefits should be coming to you within the next few months in the Admin Center. So our initial setup experience, I kind of hit this a little bit earlier. What happens whenever you buy an Office 365 or Microsoft 365 subscription? We will show you an initial setup experience. So that subscription could be the full Microsoft 365 suite. It could be Office 365 Business Premium. It could be you purchased a Visio subscription. It could be that you've already been running for a while and you purchased an additional subscription later. Regardless of the fact, we have a bunch of different onboarding scenarios that we will surface when you purchase a subscription that gets you going with it. And the idea is to get you through a set of core setup tasks, right? We know for each subscription to get value out of it, you have to go through a few things. So if you buy a bunch of licenses for M365 and you don't create users, you're probably not getting much value out of those licenses. So we try to direct you to the place where you can start creating users. If you don't add a domain, you're likely not going to use email, right? And that's one of the first things that a lot of our customers do. So we want you to start getting value. So we want to drive you towards doing those core steps. The initial setup experience is not about configuring everything end to end, because most people can't do that at day one. But we want to get you to value as quickly as possible. So that's one of the core initiatives of the initial setup experience. Immediate value, getting the core setup task completed, and going at your own pace. And after a week of walking around at Ignite, you probably could use a cane. So allow admins to set up, pause, continue at their own pace. With the initial setup experience, we do it in the form of a banner and a guided flow. But if you were to go on your own and create users or do them through directory synchronization or whatever, we would detect that you've done those setup tasks and we would stop bothering you with the setup banner. It is one of those things that we try to give you a guiding light to get you through the steps, but you could do it on your own, at your own pace, come in and out of setup whenever you want. Again, it's about doing the core tasks, which I've kind of already mentioned. It's about adding your domain, adding your users, installing Office. That's what most of these are about. If you bought Visio, the setup experience would be about installing Visio, right? So it's catered to what you've purchased. If you bought M365B, which we'll show in a minute, it would be catered to creating some Intune policy so you start getting value out of what you purchased. So with that said, let's take a look at what the setup experience looks like for a customer that purchased Microsoft 365 Business. In this case, once you purchase Microsoft 365 Business, whether you're a new customer or somebody who added the business SKU to your subscription, you would have this setup banner at the top of the page that you'd be able to go in there and type in your domain name, because obviously you don't want to use the onmicrosoft.com domain name, especially if you're using mail. So you type that domain name in. You'd go through a verification process at this point. It would detect that you are using a tenant, a domain registrar that supports automation. So we would take you through the automation process for adding a domain. This uses a thing called Domain Connect, which we'll cover later. You'll log in to your registrar directly from here. It'll prompt you for the login. It will then go through a domain verification process. It will ask you if you're allowing it to update the records automatically, and it will go through that process for you. Again, we'll talk about that more in a minute. You have other options for doing verification, like manual and email, but those are typically harder to achieve, and again, we'll go through why they're harder. Then we take you through an add user experience, where we take you through steps where you can manually add a bunch of users. If you ran out of licenses or didn't purchase enough licenses, we'd automatically get you more licenses during this add user process. So we make it pretty seamless. Once you create the users, you then have to tell your users how to log in. So we give you an option to share those credentials with your users. So you send those off. You go through the migration screen where you pick if you want to migrate your data or not. And then you go through a phase where you connect your domain to configure your DNS records so that you can get email working. And you select your options that you want, if you want Skype or if you want Exchange. It will then go through another process where it'll automatically update those DNS records at your DNS registrar. Again, it's one-on-one, so it'll ask you to allow you to update it. Pretty cool fact here is that it'll look to see if you've already had a MX record configured or any other DNS records configured. So it will prevent you from overwriting without you acknowledging it. It will tell you if there's any collisions. Then we go through setting up Intune. This is protecting your work files. We have smart defaults, but we allow you to change the configurations so that you can protect your data on your mobile devices, set up policies to protect Outlook mobile data and Word data and all that data that you use on your mobile devices. Once you go through that phase, you would then set it up so that you can automatically install Windows Office client, keep that up to date, and automatically configure Windows 10 devices to have different settings and security features automatically enabled. Think of it as like a group policy that you apply from Intune directly onto your Windows 10 PCs. Then you would go through an experience where you have to give it 5 stars before you close it. Give it 5 stars. You then put in a nice blurb to say, why the heck did you make me put in 5 stars? Anyway, and then you close it and you go on. So setup experience. What you walk through is essentially a 1, 2, 3 minute video, whatever it was, on how to set up Microsoft 365 Business. At the end of this, you've got Intune set up, you have mobile protection set up, you have email set up, you have your users configured, you have your domain configured, you have essentially a service that's functional, up and running, and ready to go for your users, okay? That was in a matter of 3 minutes. Could you have done more? Could we have added more in setup? Sure, but then you would have canceled out of it a lot sooner than that. So the idea is we put in what we think is core, and then we give you additional onboarding options later on in your experience. So we get feedback about this setup experience. Most of the feedback is actually quite good. Right, so, we get told it's excellent. We get told that, thanks for giving me my next steps. I know exactly what I need to do. It's a constant stream of nothing but good feedback, except for when it's bad. We even get told, love your sweet admin tools. We love you too. It's awesome, right? So yeah, we get good feedback. We get even better feedback, right? I love the awesome, sweet tools. And then we do get some constructive feedback. At times we get told, that I showed you the golden path, right? Where you add a domain with a registrar like one-in-one that we have automation with. It makes the domain add process super easy, right? There is a lot of friction in the domain step, and we'll be covering that. But at the end of the day, if anybody has to go through those manual steps, it is super hard. We do things to try to make it easier, but we get a lot of feedback that it's super hard. It's not the only thing we get negative feedback on, but it's, we do listen to all the feedback and take action. And you'll see what that action is for specifically that piece of feedback a little later. The onboarding or initial setup funnel basically consists of the steps I just showed you. This one isn't exactly containing the Intune steps because this is assuming it was an Office 365 customer, but you get the idea. It's this set of core steps. No matter which onboarding funnel or setup funnel we're talking about, there's 2 steps that kind of get us the most cancellations. When somebody does cancel out of the onboarding funnel or the setup funnel, there's 2 steps where they typically cancel out. It's upwards of 90% of the time. It is the first step for adding and verifying a domain, and the last step, what we call connecting domain, which is when you set up your MX records and your Skype records and all the records you need for your service. Ironically, both of these steps include going to your DNS registrar to configure those records. Not knocking the DNS registrar's platforms or control panels, but even ours in Azure, it's hard. It's a hard thing to do for a lot of customers to configure DNS correctly or to know exactly which records they need and to get this all set up. And it's one of those things that's very evident. The other things that we know are a little bit lacking in the onboarding or the setup funnel is the add user experience. We know that's catered to the small businesses because we tell them to go and create users manually, and the larger customers can't do that. These are things we are looking at to try to improve in the coming months, but the one that we're doubling down on first is the one where 90% of the drop-off happens, and that is at the add domain and connect domain steps. So what are we doing about that add domain to simplify the add domain step to simplify it? 2 things. We're investing in an initiative called, or a standard called Domain Connect, and we are simplifying the manual path. Let me start with simplifying the manual path. So one of the things we used to do is we used to tell you to add a domain, you have to add your DNS record to verify your domain, so a TXT record. So that's one record. And then later on, to connect your domain, we'd have you add 10 additional records. I mean, one of the records we had you add was a record if you needed, only if you were a Gallatin customer. Does anybody know what Gallatin is? I have one hand halfway up, which means he kind of knows what it is, and nobody else really does. So it's a data center that's in a greater China region, right? And the idea is you create this record so you can get to the right authorization endpoint to authenticate to it. So we made everybody put in this authorization record, even though 99.9999% of our customers did not need it. This is not something that should be in setup for all customers, right? It should be something that's there and visible for Gallatin customers, but not for all customers, right? So removing the amount of records that are in your path is something that we're doing to simplify it. Another thing we're doing is making sure that we detect your registrar, and it's always bad when your boss walks out of the room. Uh-oh. Anyway, so don't follow him. One of the things we do for the simple path, for the manual path, is we'll do a detection to see which, when you add a domain, we do a little back-end check and see, okay, your domain registrar X, that's where it's hosted. So we'll at least give you content that lets you know what to do with pictures and everything, that lets you know exactly what you need to do to add a domain, a verified domain, with that registrar, okay? So we try to make it easy in that way. But ideally, we'd like everybody to go to this Domain Connect standard. And what Domain Connect is, how many people have a GoDaddy domain? And how many people have added that to a tenant in Office 365 or Microsoft 365? Okay, fewer. One of the things we've done with GoDaddy, and this was way back in 2012, 13 timeframe, is we set up some APIs, we connected with them, some APIs with them to automate the DNS and domain add process. And then this allowed us to configure DNS records without having to manually configure, text records, SRV records, and everything that's needed for connecting to the service. The challenge was that was a lot of work. And to do that again with more and more and more registrars, it becomes a real challenge to kind of redo that work. And then the other challenge is for registrars. They would do that work with Microsoft, but believe it or not, there's some people on this other product, I think it's called G something or other, that they do productivity, Googies, I don't know, whatever it is, some other product that they would have to go through and do the same thing with Google, right, with G Suite. And then forget about productivity. Let's say somebody like a website builder wanted to automate with registrar as well. They would have to go through a process to connect with them as well. So it's both service providers and registrars that would have this pain of having to reconnect to different APIs, and it became too expensive to keep going with, to actually deploy. So what we've done is adopted a standard that's out there called Domain Connect. You can learn more about it at domainconnect.org. But this is one where once you adopt, everybody can adopt the same API and same methodology across registrars and across service providers so that everybody can benefit from this automation. We'll talk a little bit more about how it works, but the idea is that GoDaddy experience where you don't have to type records in, you just solve it with one-in-one. It's a very real experience. Domain Connect is very real. And we have registrars coming on board with this, and this is one of our big pushes to get rid of that 90% dropout. That we don't have 90% dropout, but 90% of the dropout that happens on domains. We want to get rid of that. So again, simplifying DNS, we went from 10 records, actually 11 records, and what we've done is we've actually added a domain choice page, a service choice page, where you could say, I want Exchange, I want Skype, I want the different services you might want to configure. What we've noticed is the act of somebody picking Exchange when they're adding their domain and saying, I only want to do Exchange records, what we've noticed is that customers go from, get 13% more successful. So there's 13% more likely to complete adding the domain step just by filling in that Exchange checkbox. Because it goes from 11 records they have to add down to 3. Makes it a whole lot more simple for them. Automation, like I said, automating the steps for adding a domain. You saw that in the video. Instead of the 11 records, we now have automation available with multiple registrars. One-on-one is one of them. I'll go through the rest of the list in a bit, but the idea is instead of entering all those records, you just need to know your registrar's, your username and password at your registrar. Automation for the enterprise. One of the things I always hear is, yeah, that's great, you have this automation for DNS, but you aren't updating all my records. I'm an enterprise. I don't want you to touch all my DNS records. I don't trust what you're going to do, or I don't want them updated for all services. I want them updated for Exchange, but not Skype or something, or whatever it may be. In that case, during the add domain process, you can go through and specify which services you want. This is something we recently added to the automation flow. 1&1 tended to have larger customers in many cases, and this is a requirement that came because of that. So we updated it so you could say, I only want to update DNS records for Exchange, and then the automation would only update it for Exchange. It was, again, allowing it to be something that the enterprise could actually use rather than them having to skip out of it. So how does it work? First thing is the customer goes to the portal or setup that I showed earlier and adds a domain to a tenant. Once they add the domain to the tenant, they type the domain in, I want, Katoso.com. They would then go and try to verify that domain, which is through that verify button I showed in that video. Once they click the verify button, Microsoft 365 will go, our domain service will go and check if there is check the registrar, see if it is a Domain Connect capable registrar, and it will look to see if that zone for that domain name has a CNAME or TXT record that allows us to know that Domain Connect has been enabled for that domain. So any registrar that supports Domain Connect would have stamped in their zone that CNAME or TXT record. That CNAME and TXT record actually comes back. It's not only to tell us that they support Domain Connect, it actually tells us where we need to go to connect to get the configuration information. It's part of the Domain Connect protocol. So once we get that response back, hey, it is Domain Connect capable, you are then prompted in a separate window for the credentials for the DNS registrar. Once you provide those credentials to authenticate, the Office 365 endpoint then connects to that API endpoint that it received via step 1 to connect to the DNS registrar's, wherever the API endpoint is for Domain Connect, and goes through the steps to do the rest of the configuration, which is then to update the DNS records that you selected in the domain purpose page. So this is a high level of the flow of what happens with Domain Connect. In that last step, when we update the records, there are things to check. Do you have an MX record already in place? If you have an MX record already in place, it'll say, this MX record exists. Do you want to overwrite it? You have the option to say yes or no. So we do detections to see if you could potentially break something, and we let you know what's about to happen. So it isn't one of those things where you're blindly trusting Microsoft to do the right thing or your registrar to do the right thing. We're going to allow you to automate it and allow you to choose if you want that to happen or not. Because it might be or not be the right, may or may not be the right time, depending on where you're at in your migration experience. So the orange box is the registrars that I would say we recommend today, and it's because it's going to give you the best experience with Microsoft 365 when you try to add a domain. These are the ones that support automation today. If you look at the blue box, that's the ones that are coming very, very soon. Okay, so these are the ones, this list of customers will account for nearly 40% of our, actually 35%, but it's actually, we're underestimating that a little bit. But it'll account for 35 to 40% of our all-up domain ad traffic. So many of your customers should start to get coverage of this automation. No more just GoDaddy. It is GoDaddy and a bunch of other registrars. The experience will still be flawless with GoDaddy, but it'll be flawless with a bunch. The other good news is it takes us to a 99% success rate of adding a domain, which is just a big deal. What are we going to do looking ahead? Some of the things we're going to do looking ahead is we're going to offer flexibility for enterprise admins. We've already started to do that by allowing you to pick the DNS records, but we're going to start doing this in the ad user experience and start doing it across some different onboarding things we're investigating. It's going to be geared towards making sure the small business still gets can find their path, but that we can make it more usable for the enterprise. We're doubling down on the enterprise with everything across our M365 admin experiences. Domain configuration improvements, we'll continue to improve those. We've been doubling down on that. I think you could see from some of the slides I already showed. Identity and user provisioning have typically not been a part of our initial setup experience. You'll start seeing some of that pop into our new setup experiences and onboarding flows. And we're going to reinvent the way setup is done in Microsoft 365. The first step in reinventing the way first initial setup is done in Microsoft 365 is to make it look and feel like the new dashboard. So one of the things that you saw was a banner on the homepage on the classic dashboard that we were so used to seeing. That banner is being replaced by a new banner that will do a few things for us. One is it'll look and feel a lot like the dashboard we have today. If you've been to any of the other sessions of the keynote, you've seen the new dashboard. This will show you this is essentially what the new setup banner will look like. It is not live yet, but it will be live in the coming weeks. It is one of those things that you can say, remind me later, and it'll take you back to the setup experience. It also has the number of steps are represented by angled cards, and you'll be able to know which step is complete and go back and forward within your steps. So it's one of those that's going to be a pretty informative banner, let you know what your next step is, okay? More on that in the coming weeks. Onboarding flows. So once you've gotten through initial setup, you're happy, you've seen the value of the cloud, you start using Exchange, you start using all the different services you want. The next thing we need to do is get you through some more onboarding, and that's to get you configured for things like Intune, for things like ATP, for things like MIP, and all the different security features that come with Office 365 and across the Microsoft 365 stack. Keeping you up to date with Windows Analytics, or Update Readiness, sorry, that's what we call it today, Update Readiness. So anyway, some of the ways we do that, one of the ways we introduce you to onboarding scenarios, you may be familiar with this dashboard. I'm going to demo this a little later, but I'm going to take you through a click-through first. This dashboard is our new admin center, a new Microsoft 365 admin center. Initially, when you land on this page, you're going to land on there with 4 cards, okay? The reason is we don't want to inundate you with too much information all at once, because then you won't know what your next step is. It won't be curated for you. The idea is that as you start using the service, and as you start configuring things, cards get pinned to your dashboard in a logical way so that the dashboard can be basically for you. It's been mentioned in a few of our sessions. It's supposed to curate itself for you. So one of the ways you do that is by adding cards manually. And there's 2 types of cards we have in the Add Card menu. We have your traditional card, like Message Center, where you could drag the card over and you get the Message Center experience for knowing what's going on in the service. We have these new notions of this thing called onboarding scenarios. So if you were to drag a card, if you were to see cards in your Add Card panel that were like Intune device enrollment or things like Intune app policies, you can go and configure your device security by adding a card from your Add Card menu onto your dashboard and then go through that configuration. You could drag the cards that matter to you. The ones that you will see are the ones that you're eligible for. So if you're a global admin, you'll see them all. If you're a device admin, you'll see a much more condensed list. If you're a security admin, you'll see the security-related ones. So you'll see what you're eligible for. Not necessarily what we're recommending to you, because we don't have enough insights at day 1 to recommend these things to you, but these are the ones that are available to you. So you can pick and choose which ones you want to do, drag them to the desktop. Once you drag it to the desktop, it'll start, you'll see the card will show you some insights. So in this case, you could pin the card to your dashboard. You could put it wherever you want. You could put it in whatever section you want. Once you pin the card to your dashboard, you'll then notice that there's a few things that go on in the card. One of them is you have a clear call to action. Rather than having a bunch of options and not knowing what to do, there's only one call to action on that card you just pinned so that you know what your next step is. And you have clear insights. The insights here are to tell you have a bunch of devices connected to your network, to your environment, to Intune, and you have no protection set up on those mobile devices. So people are just running around with unencrypted and unprotected data, right? So you have to go and protect those devices. How do you do that? You click on the clear call to action. Like I said, there's only one call to action. How hard is it? So So you click on that, and now you have a panel that comes out. This panel that comes out is also got quite a few calls to action on it. So let's go through them real fast. You can configure the options you want. Now, how many people know Intune? Okay. Have you ever been to the Intune device management admin experience where you go through Intune and there's a bunch of knobs and whistles, bells and whistles you can configure? It's more than 2 checkboxes. I guarantee that. Okay. So this is not the full Intune experience. What this is a curated list of what people typically configure for their device management. You may find that this is enough. You may find that our defaults are enough. You may find that you go in there and you might want to hit the drop downs for each of these and configure, tweak the settings some, change the pin length and things like that, change some basic things. You may also find that it's not enough for you. So you may need to go to the Intune Admin Center, and you can do that using that customized policy at the bottom right of the panel. You could also, in many cases, you want to configure a policy and you don't want to blindly configure it and make sure and think it's going to work for everybody. You want to test it out with a few people. So many of our onboarding scenarios have this notion of scoping, where you could scope it to specific individuals. And in this case, you could specify Azure Active Directory groups that would be impacted by this Intune protection policy. And again, you can create the policy with one click, or you can click Customize Policies to go through to the Intune Admin Center. Once you're done, a card gets pinned to your dashboard so that you continually monitor the impact that you've had from creating that Intune policy. Now, if you're the first admin to do this, you drag the card to your dashboard, you go through the click-through I just kind of showed. One of the things you're going to notice is that you get the card pinned to your dashboard. If another admin that has Intune in your environment, Intune permissions in your environment, logs into our admin.microsoft.com, one of the things you'll notice is that they don't have the card pinned. We're not going to assume that every admin in your environment wants the card pinned to their dashboard. So what are you doing? So what do you got to do to get the card pinned? That admin would have to go to their Add Card menu and drag the card to their dashboard. The insight they would get is exactly the same. In this case, since you've already configured it, it would look like this, showing that you have some protected devices. Okay? If they were to click on Edit Policy at this point, since it's already configured, they would actually not get the flyout. They would get a deep drill down directly into the Intune Admin Center. Once it's configured, if you want to do more modifications to the policy, the understanding is that you're probably going to want to go into that specialist admin center to really tweak it. Okay? And this holds true for all the onboarding scenarios. There's some across Intune, some across security, so there's a bunch of them. We'll show them in a minute. So onboarding value. The value you get from onboarding is you can get the insights, so those adding those cards, pinning those cards, going through those configurations. You get the insights you care about. You can organize them in sections and on the dashboard the way you want. If you configure it and you don't want it on the dashboard, you think it's just noise, you can click to remove it. We give you smart defaults for one click, and you can do common customization in context. The different onboarding scenarios we have, I couldn't find a better image for Collaborate Smarter. I should have called it Collaborate in a more fun way, but whatever. People dancing. All right, so the purpose of onboarding scenarios is really 3 things. Improve your security posture, manage your devices, and collaborate smarter. The things that we have coming in preview, and we're releasing preview and starting to release a preview at the end of this week, and we'll continue to release preview as time goes. Continue to release it broader as time goes. The one that the cards that are coming, the onboarding scenarios that are coming in preview are, I think it's about 9 or so that are coming in preview. More are going to be fast following it. But you'll have things like DLP. So, if you want to go and configure your data loss prevention policies, your Intune MAM, which is what I showed, Office ATP, MIP, Microsoft Information Protection, all these things are coming to your Add Card menu so that you can configure these through onboarding experiences, through these one-click experiences, or going into the deep admin centers, deep within the workspaces to configure the specifics. Looking ahead, one of the things that I always find interesting is we have this thing. How many people have heard of Secure Score? So we have this thing called the secure score. And I actually like the notion because it gives you kind of a scorecard of where you're at. But it's this thing of how do you improve your secure score? And if you go to securescore.office.com, and they've probably updated the URL now, but if you go to the secure score site, you can actually see the steps that you need to take to improve your secure score. And it's a whole lot of steps. But what if we had an onboarding scenario that kind of took your data security and governance, so your ATPs, your MIPS, a lot of those things I just showed on the previous screen. It took your identity security, so your conditional access policies and your multi-factor authentication. And it took your device management, your Intune policies and all that stuff. What if we wrapped that up into one onboarding scenario that was done with a click or, a couple clicks? I'm not promising anything here. It might not be a click. But what if it was done within a couple of clicks? What if you had an onboarding scenario that would take you through a process that would essentially improve your secure score, get your security posture in a better place, right? These are the types of things we're thinking about to take your tenant from square one with security to square 10 in a much easier flow, rather than having to go through each of these things individually. So we don't have this yet, but it is one of the things that we are investing in, so you should see it soon. Preview of what you might see at the next Ignite or sooner. Recommendations. So what are recommendations? Recommendations are things that are meant to annoy you until you do them. I'm just kidding. That's not the purpose of recommendations. The recommendations are data-driven, targeted insights, right? So instead of, what you notice is in the onboarding things I just showed, the way you get to them is through an add card experience. You pick what you want, you drag it to the dashboard, then you take action. That's not a recommendation. That is, you went and found something that was interesting to you, drug it to your dashboard, and took that action. What we think about with recommendations is how do we get those to surface to you, but not annoy you? Like if I was to, I'm going to use Teams as an example. I don't know why I'm beating up on Teams today. Teams is a great product. But if I was to use Teams as an example, you have Teams in your subscription. You're not using Teams. You should go use Teams. That's not a recommendation. That's me trying to sell you Teams, right? But if you have Teams, I'm going to use an example of something that doesn't exist. But let's say you had Teams. You detected that people were doing editing, multi-editing of documents and collaborating with each other, but they weren't using groups or teams. Now you say, okay, well, there's a value for that person or that customer to go and use Teams. So we could use insights to say, we should show this as something that's prominent for them and alert them that they could start to get value out of this. And I'll give you some more real examples of what we've done, but that's just an idea of what a recommendation is. It's not a, hey, you bought it, go use it. It's, it's one of those things where we detected there's value in it, and then we tell you to go after it. So intelligence. We want you to know the next best step for your organization. Not that Microsoft knows better than you, but there's times where you might not know something is going on. And if we give you the insight and show you why we're recommending something to you, now you know what's going on, but not only that, you know what your next best step is. Because if you just know what's going on, but you don't know what to do about it, like risky sign-ins. Let's say I said, risky sign-in is, I'll give you an example of one. If somebody signs in China and then 3 minutes later signs in the United States, that's a risky sign-in because there's no planes that are that fast, right? So a lot of people set up their identity. They have ADFS in place. I have this in place. I have whatever in place, right? What they don't know is if there's risky sign-ins. So if we were to show an insight that says you have risky sign-ins, that might entice them to go and do something about it. But if we don't have a call to action on what they should do about it, many people wouldn't know what to do about it. So what we've done is if customer has in their tenant already, the ability to create conditional access policies, so they could create multi-factor authentication and things like that, configure it and things like that. And we detect that they have risky sign-ins or risky users. In that case, we would then give them a recommendation saying, hey, you have this, you're already paying for it, you're not using it, and you really should because you have risky sign-ins. We'll then recommend it, and we'll give them the next best action on how to configure it. Again, it will be through those onboarding flows where it's a one-click configuration if they want, or a deep dive into the specialist workspace. Smart defaults, I talked about this in the onboarding scenario. All of the recommendations come with a smart set of defaults. I don't know if we should have called it smart defaults. I didn't think about that at midnight when I was creating these slides a couple weeks back. Because some people would disagree that they're smart. Some people would not like our defaults. But either way, there are some defaults there that we particularly like. The objective of them is to get you secure and productive. Is not to upsell. We're not trying to say you should buy blah. We're trying to say you've already bought it. You should use it because you have these triggers that tell us you should use it. And obviously to get your data protected. Your data is in our service. We are stewards of the service. We want your data protected. All right. Demo recommendations. Told my machine not to sleep. Alrighty. So, a couple things I wanted to show here. This is a tenant that's using the old Microsoft 365 Admin Center. It's still at admin.microsoft.com. One of the quick things I wanted to show, because some people might not know how to get to our new admin experience, going to start flighting to first release customers this Friday. If you want to get on first release, you would go to Settings in your left navigation, Organization Profile. When you're in Organization Profile, you would go to Edit Next to Release Preferences. When you click Edit Next to Release Preferences, you then get 3 options. One of them is Stay in Standard Release. That will not get you the preview toggle any sooner. That means you got to wait for general availability. The other option is to go to Targeted Release for Everyone. That's one of those things that you'll see the preview toggle at the soonest, but you will also see all new features for all of your users, so you might not want to do that right away. The other option is to go to Targeted Release for Selected Users. A lot of people do this for their admin accounts or for separate admin accounts. It's up to you, where you can go and check out the new features ahead of time. So if you want to start seeing these new onboarding experiences and this new dashboard, we're going to start roll out this Friday. It might take a few days past that, within the next week or so, but you'll start seeing the new experience. And the way you get into that new experience is via this try the preview experience. I probably shouldn't have showed this. This is my boss's address. Anyway, so try to preview. I'm going to go into the new experience. So as an admin, you would go into the new experience. What you'll see is the new dashboard. Any moment now. Haven't checked this network, hopefully. Okay, good. The new dashboard came up. It's a pretty, there's not a whole lot going on in this dashboard. I've customized it with just one card, the ATP card. Other than that, it has default view. You'll notice the recommendation did not come up, okay? We don't inundate people the first time they enter the dashboard, but if I was to navigate away from the dashboard and then come back, so I'll go to users since it's a nice and pretty page. I will come back to the home page, and you'll notice I have a risky users recommendation. And this is what I talked about. If you have risky users, you can set up conditional access policy. How many people were in the last session with Amisha for the admin center? Okay. So they went through the risky users recommendation. So I could go here and view the recommendation and take action on the recommendation, going through some of the things we just talked about, picking my options if I want to do it for just admins, all users, or specific users. I have the option of saying I want to customize the policy to take me to the specialist admin workspace. In this case, if I click Customize Policy, it would take me not just into the Azure portal, but it'll take me into the portal, into the location of the portal where I can configure my conditional access policies. I did not go there from this tenant yet. I've been doing my testing in another, so it's taking me there. But you can see I can go in here and I can check out my conditional access policies and go and configure those conditional access policies. But in this case, I actually like risky users. I like knowing that there's people trying to penetrate my network, so I'm not going to fix it. Don't know why I like that, so I'm going to dismiss it. the recommendation will go away. And you won't get another one right away. What we don't want to do is keep peppering you with recommendations, because if you did one and then another one came and another one came, eventually you want to do the work that you came to the dashboard for. So we wait till you come back to the home page again, and we'll experiment with different ways of handling that, but today that's how it works. Wait till you get to the dashboard again. And in this case, we'll show you one for DLP. And the DLP one is one where if you, data loss prevention, if you had files that are in SharePoint and OneDrive, and those files contain sensitive information, and you don't have any DLP configured. So again, there's targeting logic to understand if you should see this recommendation. Then we would show you the recommendation. Once we show you the recommendation, you have the option of clicking on View Recommendation. And like I said, you can go through, pick your options that you want to configure. I will protect all of them. And I click Create Policy. It goes through processing, and then it will, just like the onboarding scenarios, it will go create the policy and automatically pin the card to your dashboard. For some reason, it scrolled past the card. I think it's because of a weird Zoom thing I got going on. But now you can see that card is pinned to the dashboard in the correct section, okay? So it's intelligent recommendations. It's one of those things we only show you. You may come in and never see a recommendation. It's because you're running everything 100% properly. And like I said, you can go to your dashboard, go to Add Card, and you'll see a bunch of other onboarding scenarios here, and you could go and add cards to your dashboard and go through those recommendations or go through those onboarding scenarios. All of the recommendations we have, they're coming for the preview timeframe and maybe slight fast follow for preview are listed on the board here. We have things that control access, like if you have too many people with the global admin permissions. People give that out like candy, right? Global admin for you and for you and for you. It's like Oprah was here, right? They give away global admin permissions like candy. A lot of that's because of the limitations within our role-based access control, limitations within our system itself. But anyway, we try to limit that by giving them a nudge to assign specialist roles. Securing your data, we have a bunch for that, and we have a bunch for staying up to date with like analytics and other features as well. These will be coming in the following. Some of them will be coming at preview. Some will be coming in the following months. And we have more on the way, but these are the ones that we are confirming today. For security, so I'm showing you again, this is a screenshot of the Microsoft 365 setup experience that we're building. One of the things you'll notice is that if you go from here to the setup experience, the initial setup experience, and you go to the Security Center initial setup experience, you'll notice that the look and feel is very similar. Part of that is because we have the same design team. So we're trying to make things feel as coherent as possible across the experiences. If you go to the Compliance Center, so the Compliance Workspace, hey, it looks similar again. Because we have the same design team. We're trying to make things feel extremely coherent. Device. Okay, this you would go from the device, from Microsoft Admin Center, you'd click on the device node. When you go to the device node, it doesn't feel the same yet, okay? These are major platform shifts we're doing, and we're still on a separate platform with device management. So sure, it doesn't feel exactly the same, but very similar to our dashboard. If you don't have something configured, you have a very clear call to action to get it configured. So you know exactly what your next step is. Once you have that piece configured, you then get insights on your dashboard about that piece, very similar to our admin.microsoft.com dashboard. And then once you get everything configured, you have a full data-rich dashboard. So it's not exactly the same look and feel yet, but we are getting there in how we're trying to get as coherent as we can across the M365, Microsoft 365 stack. So what we're trying to drive towards, I hope you've seen in this kind of through the onboarding scenarios, through the recommendations, through all this, what we're basically doing is to reintegrate what Brian mentioned. We're building for the IT teams. We're trying to get it to where you can curate your own experience as a security admin, get you going with your security features from Microsoft 365 Admin Center, get you going with your devices. If you're a small or medium business or you help a small, medium business, they can know what their next step is. They can get that. They can understand how to do those things. I didn't go through many of the everyday efficiency things, but we've done a ton of work to make everyday efficiency easier. For instance, once you set up the Intune policies, your users try to connect with a mobile device. When they do that, they're going to get these policies applied to their devices. If you need to wipe that device, you don't have to go to Intune anymore. You can go to the user's left navigation option in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center and wipe that device. So these onboarding scenarios that you're configuring, many of the day-to-day tasks that are associated with them, wiping a device, resetting a device, all those things will be integrated into the user experience. You can start doing those things from admin.microsoft.com. So it's not about just getting going, it's about doing it every day, making the life of your help desk admins super efficient. And then actionable insights. I showed you, even through the specialist workspaces, like the Device Management Admin Center, not 100% coherent as far as the UX user experience goes. However, it is coherent in the fact that there is actionable insights. On the Security Center, Compliance Center, there's actionable insights. And on the Admin Center itself, admin.microsoft.com, we have obviously actionable insights as well. The actionable insights cut across all those services. The source of those insights are the same. So it's important to know that, like, if you're in admin.microsoft.com and you see some information protection chart on your dashboard, we're not curating that differently than a Security Center does. We're using the same endpoint. We're using the same source for that data. So it will be consistent across your experience. Preview, I showed you how to get to preview earlier. I'm sure you're all dying to see it and start experiencing this. So I showed you how to get there. Things that are going to be in preview are things like the dashboard I showed. You're going to see recommendations. You're going to see the user management updates, which I did not show, but it was in a couple other sessions. I'll show the session list so you can watch the recordings of them. The purchase services and stuff like that will be there as well. Fast follow will be things we're doing for, additional things we're doing for devices and groups, more simplified onboarding scenarios. We're rethinking the way we're doing onboarding, so you'll see a lot more of that lighting up over the coming months. I did not show that in today's demos. And preview will be generally available for everybody, not just first release, in 2019 H1. Other sessions, there's only one in red because there's only one left in this list, and that is our analytics session. The rest of the sessions I would encourage you to go and watch on the videos, watch the videos of, because they're the ones that are related a lot to the Microsoft 365 admin experience. This is what the expo floor looks like. If anybody hasn't been to the expo floor, sorry, you should have gone by now. It's almost done. But at least you can find your way. Next steps. Preview the new features. We got a write-up we're doing on all the new features that are coming out. We'll keep this updated, so there's a short link there for that. Give us feedback. We read every piece of feedback. I showed some of the feedback earlier. I was going to show you some more colorful feedback, but I was told I'm not allowed to use profanity in my slides, so I did not show that one. But you can be vulgar if you want to. We'll read it, and we'll reply. Humans read every bit of it. And try Microsoft 365. There's a lot of options to try it for free. There's no harm, no foul. If you don't like it, you can get rid of it. But we believe we got a good suite of products, not just Office 365, but with the device integration and Windows 10 integration, all the security integrated. We feel like we got a good suite of products, so we should give it a shot. This is evaluation. If you liked what you saw today, go ahead and evaluate it. Otherwise, there's snacks in the hallway. Just go have some snacks. Don't worry about it. And then this is me with hair. Good old days. Anyway, and that's it. So thank you, everybody. We'll be at the booth. You can come up if you want, and we'll be at the booth in that expo center that I showed the map of.